Hi guys and dolls, today I'm going to be doing a smackdown between two different cosmetic sponges. One costs a little bit more than the other, quite a bit more in fact. But today we're going to discover which one I actually prefer among these two. So for years I've used the Beauty Blender sponge and this has been my standby. It's what I use in my kit on clients. I love this sponge. So just a little bit of background information for both these sponges. They are made out of a dense sponge material. They start out looking much smaller. I'll go ahead and show you guys a clip here of what these look like before they get hydrated with water. So they're these little tiny dense hard sponges, and then you fully saturate them with water and they puff up to about this size. And once they're puffed up, you want to squeeze out all the excess water. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you a sponge that's nice and soft, but it's not going to soak up as much of your foundation as like a traditional like plain latex sponge, which is just going to, you know, be a sponge and suck up all the foundation. You end up wasting product, yada yada. A couple of years ago, the Beauty Blender took the beauty community and makeup artistry by storm, and everyone just fell head over heels for this sponge. And I feel like every freaking company tried to be like, oh, we have a Beauty Blender dupe. However, in my experience with all a bunch of hullabaloo, and every time I would hear about like, oh, this brand has, you know, a Beauty Blender, you know, sponge dupe, I'm like, no, they don't. They have a beauty sponge, and it's the Beauty Blender. And what I love about the Beauty Blender, it has this nice great like tip here, and you can get like in to the places, and it has like this nice rounded bottom, and it's nice for like doing the little pouncy pounce. And I would even use the side of it to do powder. It was just, oh, I love this sponge. This is offered on so many different websites, so many different places. This is available internationally, so that definitely has something going for it. Some of the things I didn't like about it is that some of the dye would run a lot when you wash it, and like eventually they do tear, so you have to, you know, or they get stained or whatever. This one I feel like stains pretty bad, and so, you know, you do have to replace it. But the thing I really don't like about it is the cost. It's a pretty expensive sponge. I'll go ahead and have the price for like the basic Beauty Blender down here for you guys. So it's a lot of money to invest into a sponge all the time. So along came Polly. By Polly, I mean the Miracle Complexion Sponge from Real Techniques. Now, once again, I heard, oh, you know, a Beauty Blender dupe, and I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. I love this sponge. I would say this is a better than dupe. Yes, I said it, kids, better than the original. This sponge is only $5.99, so can we get a holla for the cheap dollar products, whatever. I don't know what that was. This sponge has a different shape, as you can see. They're not trying to copy the shape. They have this flat edge, and this flat edge is what makes this foundation. I'm telling you guys, oh my god, it's so good. So it's perfect for getting, you know, into corners of places. I feel like it's great at doing like a larger area of product. And one thing that I noticed that was interesting is that I feel like the flat one picks up the foundation more evenly across the surface, whereas I feel like the Beauty Blender sponge tends to just kind of pick it up in one area, which is kind of a bummer. I never really had noticed that before until I had the Real Techniques sponge. Now the Real Techniques sponge is, you know, again, it has that flat side, which is great for applying a large surface. It does still have that tip, but it's not quite as pointed. So if you love the tip of the Beauty Blender, you're not getting quite that same tip. I mean, it comes to like a harsher tip, but it's not as like thin on the sides. See what I'm saying? It's a little curvier. So here's how I use this sponge. I use this side to apply the foundation. I also use this for concealer on this side to like blend it in. Then I use the, you know, the belly side of the sponge to apply my powder. And then I actually rarely use this end because this side is so fantastic. Now I've had my sponge for about over a month now, and I've used it religiously ever since. In fact, I haven't really picked this up except for today to kind of test the difference between the two, because I didn't really need to test them side by side or anything because I've used this for a long time. I'm quite aware that this is a fantastic sponge, but this one's better and it's cheaper, kids. That's the bottom line to this video. Now, when it comes to cleaning the sponge, you could use face wash or something like that, but I find that the best thing to clean it with is the Beauty Blender Solid Cleanser. I do also have the liquid one that I got when I bought like my first Beauty Blender, but I mean, this is the same one and I haven't even used like half or something. The reason why I haven't used it all is because I think the Solid Cleanser is better. I feel like it gets all the product out much quicker, and I just sort of like massage the soap in, you know, scrubby scrub, and then rinsey rinse, and then I let it dry. Why was I like so confused by that? Okay, I just had a little bit of a blonde moment. I want to give a special shout out to everyone who recommended this sponge to me, in particular Zeta and my best friend Jamie, who was like, dude, you gotta get the sponge, and I was like, dude, it's so awesome once I tried it. So thanks, girl. I think that's all that needs to be said about these sponges. It's incredible to find a better than dupe for like a fraction of the cost of the original. It's crazy. Again, I will say it kind of sucks because this isn't available like everywhere that the Beauty Blender is available, so you can kind of get this in, you know, more remote areas of the globe, I guess. But, you know, if you can get your our hands on this guy. It's cheaper and it's better. So that's all I really have to say about the matter. For this video, if you have any additional questions, leave them for me in the comment section below. Feel free to answer each other's comments as well. I love seeing you guys respond to each other and kind of making a community out of the comment section. I just love that. I also want to invite you guys to follow me on Instagram and Facebook because I post things about my life. I also post, you know, extra makeup stuff. They're photos. Sometimes they're beer photos. Occasionally I post like inspirational stuff or just, you know, all kinds of different stuff. So follow me on Instagram and Facebook if you'd like to. And that's it. Have a fantastic day and remember to be yourself. See you later. Bye. The thing I'm doing different at the end of this video is I'm going to be showing you an alternate lippy. So here I have like a peachy, nudie kind of color. At the end I'm going to show you something completely different just to show you how a lip color completely changes a look. And I know a lot of people when they do like a dark look like this, they automatically think, well, I have to do nude lips. No, dude, you can do whatever you want.